So I have a brief presentation. We'll do Q&A, and then we've got several stations. We've got a good number of staff that are here to answer questions about specific issues you might have, and I think we've got the right staff to answer almost any issue that might come up. Outline of what we'll talk about, just want to touch briefly on our budget and comprehensive plan that we do. The comprehensive plan is our strategic plan, and we go out 3 years. We have specific projects we have planned for 2016, and we're on a state fiscal year. What that means is our year is April 1st to March 31st, so 2016 to 17. And then we also in our plan outline what the plans are up through March of 2019. We're going to talk about a customer satisfaction survey that's going on right now. Show you the redesign of our bus stop signs. We came out with new signs, got some feedback, went back to the drawing board, coming back out to get feedback, and then talk about the Route 45 and the Route 45 Limited. Preview some changes coming to the Monroe Avenue bus, the Route 47. Talk about our care standards that we look for our operators and all employees to provide. And then finally provide you the dates for the next two customer schedules. So this is a look of the book. If you go onto our website, you can get a copy, take a look at it. The theme is connecting communities, knowing you better to serve you better. Before the Transit Center, one of the things I love about the Transit Center, at these types of meetings, I often got complaints, very few compliments about how well the lineups worked when it was on Main Street. If you were on a one-lake bus in the summertime, it was very doubtful you were going to connect with your bus downtown at lineup. It was very difficult for that bus to get down there through traffic, back downtown. And of course, once you got off the bus, there was no RTS employee to tell you, help me out, how do I get here, how do I get there? Did this bus leave already, or is it still yet to come? Now with all the buses at the Transit Center, we know which bus is late, we know how late it's going to be, and someone at the Transit Center in the Monitoring Center, under Jim Ramos's direction, can decide, geez, how long can we hold it and still make the next lineup on time? We don't want to hold up all the buses if it's going to be 10, 15 minutes late. But again, this is something where we know exactly what's going on. And when a bus gets there late and people get off the bus, they have to wait for the next lineup, we know exactly who's there because now they're in our facility. Yep. So it's a much easier way for us to know, have we made that handshake with our customers at each lineup. So with that foundation laid, the customer service that's available, security that's available, a much different way of touching our customers, the theme this year is connecting communities, knowing you better to serve you better. A couple of the highlights in the plan, we're putting in a new customer relationship management system now. What does that mean? Right now when you call and say, look, I've called before, it's very difficult for the customer service rep to look up the information with the software we have. It's what's called a legacy system, which means it's been around for a long time. We're not able to update it. We're putting in a brand new system so that when you call my office and say, look, I brought an issue to your attention before, I'll be able to go in the system, see who you've talked to, where it's at in the status, if the customer service rep has pushed it to operations to say you need to look into this, and the customer service rep will have a tickler on it. And Megan Morsch, Megan, raise your hand, our Vice President in Marketing and Customer Service, and Kirk Bethel, who's Manager of Customer Service, they will know which customers have not received a response back. One of the issues that's very frustrating for you, quite frankly very frustrating for me, is you raise a question, it comes into our organization, gets pushed from customer service elsewhere in the organization, the customer service rep doesn't know, did the planning department or operations department get back to the customer or not? This system will close that loop. The customer service rep will know whether you received information back or not. It'd be a much more robust system for us to be able to track what are the issues that our system is creating for our customers. Another major part of it is community engagement. It's becoming very clear to me that while the population numbers aren't changing in our community, the demographic numbers are. Just found out recently that we're all getting older. Even me, it turns out. So as we get older, our needs change. And people who are younger, they have a different view on mobility. My 20-year-old doesn't want a car. For a long time didn't want his license till mom and dad said, I didn't get raised to be a cab driver for a 19-year-old. But he doesn't want a car. He wants to live in a community with a robust transit system. The city, with their poverty concentration, is looking for how do we redesign different neighborhoods so people can go to school, have daycare, have health care, have job opportunities, all within a neighborhood. A hub and spoke system is not going to work well in that type of environment. Xerox is pushing call center jobs to the end of Webster. South Henrietta becomes another hotbed. Rochester Tech Park, another hotbed for jobs. Our current system is not serving those destinations well. And my direct appeals to Albany are giving some small amounts of money, but not enough to meet the needs of the community. And one other initiative that's going on, a little bit under the radar for most of our customers, is Medicaid redesign of their system so that health care will be delivered differently. How do we get people to make sure they're at their doctor's appointments? The person who's in health care and under care of a physician, how do they make sure they get to their physical therapy appointments? Again, our current public transit system doesn't serve these changing needs very well. So we have made investments in our management team so we can be at those tables so that we can better understand the Emma Beechwood neighborhood, which is where our main campus is. That's going to be a pilot community. What product, what type of bus service do we need to put out so that we can coordinate getting people in that neighborhood to the destinations in a simplified format? And then can we come up with a system that's successful enough to then scale throughout the community? And I think 3 to 5 years from now, we'll need to have other options besides what we have today with fixed route and access to meet the needs of the community. Those decisions, the groundwork is being laid right now. A customer satisfaction survey that's going on. Right now you can go to our website or call 288-1700 and follow the menu prompts. This is the American Bus Benchmarking Group. There's 20 transit agencies around the country. Closest one to us is Buffalo, but there's 3 in California, 1 in Oregon, 2 in Washington. We've got some in Texas, the Midwest, Chicago, Rhode Island, Virginia, Florida. And we share our information so that last year, as an example, our customers' satisfaction scores for on-time performance was the highest in the group. People are saying, Bill, what are you doing to have people be so satisfied with the reliability of when you come? So it's the exact same survey in all 20 markets. It goes till May 1st. And then the Imperial College, who's facilitating this, will collect the data, turn that around to us, and we'll be able to tell not just are you satisfied with us or not, what areas could we improve, but how do we compare with 19 other transit agencies around the country so that from that we can tell here's areas that other communities are being better served, what can we learn from them, raise the customer satisfaction in our community. Bus stop signs. So we've got the old legacy design, which had to be changed because the route numbers got changed. So we put a green sticker, and I'm really pleased with how well the stickers have stayed on because the signs weren't supposed to be there that long. We then came up with 3 or 4 other designs with the new RTS colors, the green and the blue. Some were black print on white background, some are white print on black background, but the material was not reflective enough for our operators. So this is a redesign. So service changes for the Route 45. We've took a look at that. It was a lot to try to get out to MCC and back downtown. So we've moved the MCC trips over to the Route 50, and the Route 45 now has a simpler trip. Service to Rustic Village and MCC, the ones in the evening have been moved to the 23.
And that's a problem.
Trying to serve MCC at night is a problem. It certainly is. Well, one of the things we heard very frequently when College Town was being developed was how can we get more quicker service out to Strong? And then one of our key destinations on the 45 is both Monroe Community Hospital as well as Department of Human Services and the Health Department at Westfall and East Henrietta Road. The 145 limited stop service was designed to expedite people trying to get to Highland Hospital, trying to get to Strong here, trying to get to those final 2 destinations. The trip is now 22 minutes on those routes as opposed to 36 minutes is a typical trip out to Monroe Community Hospital on the 45 versus the 145. So a third quicker. And that aspect of it, we're getting good feedback. Now, with the limited stop service, which you make up in speed, we're finding, okay, well, we really like it, but could you put these stops in? And that's where Julie and her team will have to take a look and say, well, if you put too many in, it's not limited anymore. But how we designed those stops was what were people using most frequently so that we hit the highest destinations. But at this point, people who are trying to get to Monroe Community Hospital really like it. People who are trying to get to Golisano entrance didn't like it. We put that stop back in. And people trying to get to Highland, a much quicker trip to Highland than what it was before. Monroe Avenue. So here's the current Monroe Avenue route. You can see where the transit center is at the top left. About the middle of the screen, it says 12 corners. And then there are about 10 times a day where the bus goes down South Winton, goes down Westfall, down Edgemere, French Road, into the Jewish Community Center, Winton Place Design, and then it goes back to Monroe Avenue and back downtown. And if you got on that bus expecting to get to Pittsford or Pittsford Plaza, you find yourself at 12 Corners again, headed downtown saying, wait, I thought I was on the Monroe Avenue bus. Very confusing. And so we had information sessions. We took draft alternative sessions down at the Transit Center. And this was a preferred option that we heard. We took a look at that stretch of Westfall, 0 riders on average per day. Edgemere, 0 riders per day. There's an apartment complex where 1 person uses it. There was another location, 3 people use it. And what we took a look at is the Route 23, which we introduced last year, has time to get to that apartment complex in the Jewish Community Center. And this will allow Monroe Avenue, which is a very popular, very well-traveled route, to have a consistent pattern. On the next slide, during peak time, 6 to 9:30 in the morning, it'll be 20-minute headways now. And during the course of the day, instead of 35 minutes, it'll be 30-minute headways. And then service will continue through midnight. This is another comment that we heard folks that were trying to get home. That bus didn't go out to Pittsford. that late at night. It stopped after, I want to say, the 9:15 lineup. It will now continue. Monroe Avenue will be primary and exclusive transit corridor. The weekday service to South Winton Road will be the 23 Jefferson, and then the Route 51 South Clinton will serve the Jewish home on the weekends. So our care standards, next up, this is courtesy, attitude and attire, responsiveness, and exceeds expectations. This is what we ask our employees to show our customers each day. It's what I ask our internal staff to show our employees. It's what I ask our frontline employees to show to the customers. And Malcolm Appleberry is just a great example. I get compliments on him on a regular basis, but here was a great example. Got on his bus. There's a 12-year-old that had fallen asleep in the back of the bus. When he got the bus, the 12-year-old, hey, what's going on? Got the bus, turned around, back onto our campus, and a road supervisor was able to take the 12-year-old to her final destination. And then this is a smile that greets you 5 days a week at the Transit Center. Cheryl's there working with Dan and Josh at the Transit Center, and feedback from several customers. Always greets you with a smile, provides helpful, accurate information, does a great job every day. Customer meeting schedule. Next meeting will be at the Transit Center. We had gotten some feedback, I want to say, who sets these up? Megan? So when Megan first set this up, they were all downtown. And I said, wait, we can't have them all downtown, so we're here at College Town today. Next one will be at the Transit Center, and then in October at the library. Thank you very much. Thank you.